Welcome to Unity Northwest Church Des Plaines. Oh, I'm so confused. It's all going to get sorted out. But today you get to take your pick. And this is a positive path for spiritual living, and that hasn't changed. My name is Dallas Traylor, and I am serving as your platform assistant today. And I'm so glad that joining us is our wonderful guest speaker, Tom Wendt. So let us open in prayer. We now open ourselves up to the presence of God flowing through us today. We join together to deepen our spiritual understanding and create a beloved community. We bless our service and each person here this morning. Let each of us be transformed by the words, the music, and the love we share during this time. And may we each carry those blessings out into the world to create heaven on earth. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Whether this is your first time here or you've been coming for years, we are glad that you're with us and welcome home. This is to take a moment to silence your phone. I think I did that. Yes, I did. Okay. So we silence our phones, and our chaplains will now lead us in the invocation.
Good morning. I'm Gail O'Neill.
I'm Cindy Gann.
And both of us are serving as your platform assistants. I'm sorry. You're trying to communicate. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Anyway, next week, platform assistant. Today, chaplains. So we're here after the service, and we are honored to be here to pray with you. And whether it is something you'd like to celebrate or a challenge that you're experiencing, we're here for you to support you in prayer and in confidence. So at this time, we're going to share the invocation. And there may be a copy in front of you, hopefully, perhaps. And if not, just relax and feel the wonderful energy of Charles Fillmore's invocation. I am now in the presence of pure being, and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my human limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for our people who take multitasks. So we have to remember, I came in standing there earlier and I said, what am I doing today? Let's see. Oh, I'm platform assistant. I'm not ushering. Okay. Now we go into our daily word. And the daily word for today is gather. As I gather with others in the spirit of love and peace, my awareness of God's presence becomes more powerful, even palpable. Together, we create an energy, a vibration greater than any of us has alone. I am comfortable and at ease when I notice our differing appearances, preferences, backgrounds, and opinions, because I am reminded of the limitless diversity of this divine expression and my place in it. When I join in fellowship with my family, friends, and all others who are dear to me, each of us becomes a mirror of the other. We see in one another the divine presence that lives in and expresses as every person. The unifying energy of divine love unites and binds us together. In this love, we are one. And the Bible verse is, how very good and pleasant it is when kindred live together in unity. And that's from Psalm 133, verse 1. Okay. And now is the time that we would go into meditation. So if you would prepare for meditation.
And another oldie but good. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, so we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you, Chris and Tatiana, for leading us into this time. Thank you to each of you for the conscious energy you bring of the Christ in you. And so let's just relax into that energy and that presence, that divinity that is us. I invite us to start with a great big deep inhale and exhale, and as you exhale, check out that your shoulders don't drop just a bit, and relax. Oh. Surrender to the good that defines you. Surrender to the Christ nature that indeed is you. And simply listen. Simply listen. Relax, sweet child, for you are safe and you are home. Settle into your chairs and feel supported not only physically but spiritually and emotionally too. You are home now. Be at home. Continue to breathe ever so deeply and listen. Listen to your breath. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. resurrect the divine energy within you to this moment. Let it comfort you and speak to you. Simply listen. Allow our bodies to relax just a bit more. And let us listen with our hearts. Sweet, sweet child, you're home now. You're safe. And as we listen with our souls, we are guided for the day in safety and in the energy of life. And as we bring our attention back to this time in this sacred place, and be aware of the gentle souls with whom we share this beautiful, beautiful sanctuary. And know that this is the beginning of a perfect day. All we need do is listen. And so it is. Amen.
When
Thank you, Chris and Tatiana. My goodness. Live your life like someone left the gate open. That's not original. My wife, MP, has a poster in her office at Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock, where she is the part-time minister. Shows a horse and beautiful white frame. So it's a commonly used phrase, but it means so much to me. To me, its meaning implies I'm blessed with the 12 powers of man, or humankind, as our co-founder Charles Fillmore stated. Now go ahead and use them. Take it to the limit. Because when we leave that gate closed, we not only prevent our creative nature, our imagination, and our zest for life to express outwardly, we prevent opportunities from coming in at us. Our gates convey to others a very clear message. On the outside, we have our signs that say, no trespassing, keep out. Don't be coming to me with your annoying possibilities and opportunities, please. I'm really safe here. And on the inside, we have our own personal graffiti. Some of mine include, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I've never done it before, or here's the classic, my cousin tried that and it really went bad. I refer to these as statements of strangulation because they choke off our creative expression and they choke off the ability for opportunity to come towards us and into our lives. But the real reason I don't respond to opportunity, the real reason I want to keep that gate closed and the payback to all those statements of strangulation is that what's outside that gate is outside my comfort zone. And I'm scared to go there. I lack the confidence to go there. Now, many of us remember the circus and remember the high wire acts. And, when they were practicing those acts, swinging from one trapeze to the other and catching each other and walking the tightrope. When they were practicing, they had a net under them, a big safety net under them, right? In case they fail, in case they fall. Well, inside my gated community, if you will, there's a safety net of sorts. Not one that will catch me if I fall, because inside my comfort zone, I'm not going to fall. It's so incredibly safe here and the traction's good. And I love it here. In the Gospel of Matthew, it says, as Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother John in a boat preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee let me start over again, okay? Well, there I am right outside my comfort zone again. Gosh darn it. Where the heck's that gate? As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come follow me, he said, and I will make you fishers of men. At once they left their nets and followed him. When he went on a little further, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat and the hired men and followed him. These men could have used all those graffiti excuses on the inside of their gates, but no. The Christ called them out, and they followed. What is the Christ asking of you these days? These men did not know how to lead people. but they would learn. They did not know how to be a disciple of Jesus, but they would learn. And the only way they would learn is by doing. Leave the gate open and you'll learn. That safety net I spoke of outside my gate, where there is no safety net. There's no safety net outside of our comfort zones. At least I don't believe so. But you know what's going to happen if I miss? You know what's going to happen if I fail or fall? And do you know what I fall into? I fall into life. That's what I fall into outside of that comfort zone, outside of that gate. I fall into life. The challenges of life, the learnings of life, the realization that when I get knocked down, I can get up. I love what one of my favorite inspirational speakers, Les Brown, says. He says, when you get knocked down, look up, because if you can look up, you can get up. I got a thumbs up back there from Les Brown. I love him. He says, you got to be hungry. There's not a lot of life inside that gate. Outside the gate, there's challenge and opportunity and brushing yourself off, should you fail, and then get up patting yourself on the back for what a good job you did. And sometimes you don't get knocked down outside that gate. You succeed. And then after that, you succeed again, and you build on that success. That's why you live life like someone left the gate open, because you take it to the limit. You take it to the limit. From this month's Science of Mind magazine, in an article titled, Take Your Place in the Creative Process, author Carol Carnes says, in any attempt to explain how life works and things happen, we must place ourselves at the center of the action. You can't understand life as a spectator, okay? We can no longer attribute, she says, the cause of our experience to anyone or anything but us. Okay. Who's the guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul? What's his name? He also wrote The Success Principles. And in it he says, let's see, E plus R equals O. The event plus our response equals the outcome. It's all about us. We have a duty to create. Things happen that'll happen out of our control, but we have the obligation and the right and the opportunity to respond as we wish. When we dip our toe into something, we won't know what we're capable of. We won't understand the knowledge and the wisdom and the imaginings that lie within. We need to trust that they're there. When we're outside that gate, we have almost infinite potential on how to handle anything that comes up. Whether we've been there or not, whether our cousin failed or not, whether we have the time or not. The levels of knowledge within us and the wisdom and the intuition that is within you and me is indescribable. And in order to release that which is within us, we must dip our toe more into the experience of life. And when we do, the knowledge, intuition, imagination, the words, they're going to pour out of us. Now, I'm going to give you an example that's so incredibly silly, I don't know if I should include it or not, but I will. My wife, MP, yeah, I'm opening the gate again. There you go. My wife, MP, was getting ready for our Good Friday service. She said, would you go into my office and bring out 4 candles and 4 candle holders into the sanctuary? They were an integral part of her candle lighting service. Sure. So I walk in, and there they are, 4 candle holders, 4 tapers, and I thought, oh, brother, if I dropped one of these, it's big trouble. I don't want to do that. What should I do? How am I going to be sure they're safe? I couldn't figure it out in my mind All I did is I picked up one of the candle holders, and as soon as I had one in my hand, I took this other one, I took the four candle holders, 4 taper candles, safely delivered to the sanctuary, right? We all do this all the time, right? Bags of groceries, we just start grabbing, and by grabbing and dipping our toe into it, we know what to do next. Carrying several plates of food, whatever. And the same is true in other areas of our life. We may not know what to do. We may not have the time. We may not have the experience. However, if we leave the gate open to trying, and we will find a way. And if it doesn't work, you know what happens? We fall into life. And then we realize what we need to do now. Oh, that didn't work. Here's what I'll do next. That's all. A week ago, Easter was Easter Sunday, right? We're talking about resurrection. I'm talking about your resurrection right now, and my resurrection from that gated community I can sometimes live in. Maybe some of you are so enlightened you don't live there. I don't know. But I do. I do. Anybody else here have like a little bag of something? Usually it's a gift that's in your pantry or on your kitchen counter that somebody gave you like a year ago. Yeah, I have some hands raised, you know? And it gets moved every now and then, and as it gets moved, it says, I probably ought to make this, okay? I probably ought to do something with this. Well, while I was creating this talk and applying this, I had my hands on the bag. It's a bag of spoon bread that someone gave us, I don't know how long ago. I thought, well, and I haven't made it. You know why I haven't made it? Because I don't know how. Okay. The directions are on the freaking bag, Tom. Open the gate and make the darn spoon bread. So I did. So I took it out, and all you did is add water. That's all you do is add water. You pour it into a bowl, and you add water, and you stir it up. Put it in a pan, put it in the oven, cooked it, came out. It was a mess. It was a disaster. The edges were like burned, and the middle was still like watery, So I had to pitch it. I had to dispose of it. I don't like doing that, but I had to dispose of it. Now, but think of it. I would have known what to do with it had it been a success. I had the jelly ready, okay? And I knew what to do with it when it did not. I knew I had to dispose of it. But it took me a year to understand that. The things we do, huh? The things we do. We have more knowledge within us than we can ever realize. And when it's called forth, it'll come forth. No matter how little simple it is or how huge it is. I think music is one of the healthiest and most energizing forms of transcendence and magic in my mind. We've had it proved to us this morning. I can be in a mood, and then I hear the right song on the radio and I'm lifted. I'm gone. I'm changed. For me, if I hear like Don't Stop Believin' by Journey or Here I Go Again by Whitesnake or Take It to the Limit by the Eagles or Chris and Tatiana, I'm lifted. I was singing along. I was gone. It was great. And then there's this more other side of me that kind of likes a couple of really maudlin songs, like an oldie, Honey by Bobby Goldsboro. It's kind of sad and whatnot. Or Daisy a Day by Frank McCaffrey. Gives her a daisy a day. But anyway, it's old. And it's like a waltzy kind of thing. Anyway, it's me. And they change me. And if I asked you, how many songs do you know? What would the number be? Okay. Would you start naming them for me? I don't know about you, but I can only name like a handful of the songs I know. So, who here would like to take a nice 30-second quiz just to prove how much you know about things? Let the record show almost nobody. Okay? So I need a volunteer. Everyone's looking down at their feet. All I need is someone with a phone with a timer, and I need you to time us for 30 seconds. Who can do that for us? Oh, come on. Young lady back there in the orange top looks very good. I like that. Okay. So if you would, pardon me? I know. Well, she's going to need to turn it back on now. So could you set it for 30 seconds, please? Okay? Because here's what you're going to do, and I'm going to give you a head start. I'm going to ask you to count on your fingers and your toes. Are you ready for 30 seconds? Okay, I'll let you know in a second. All the songs you know that begin with the letter I. For example, Imagine by John Lennon, or I Wouldn't Have Missed It for the World by Ronnie Milsap, a little country and western there. Okay, that's all, very simple. 30 seconds. Is there a question? Oh, okay. Count on your fingers and toes all the songs you know that begin with the letter I. You'll have 30 seconds. Please start. Let me know when it's over. Time's up. Okay, how'd you do? Anybody here with more than 20? Anyone here with more than 15? Nobody yet. More than 10? Okay. How about more than 5? One person with more than 5? Anybody else? We had 5 on the head. Okay, cool. How many others did you find? 5? Okay. All right, cool. So, let me read to you my list. Now, I'm an old guy, so these are all some old songs, but some of you will be able to relate, I trust. These are songs on my Spotify that begin with the letter I, okay? I Believe in You, Don Williams. I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. I Can't Fight This Feeling, LA Band. I'd Do Anything for Love, Meatloaf, yes. I'd Love You to Want Me by Lobo. I Don't Know How to Love You, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. I love that song. I Dreamed a Dream by Susan Boyle. I Fell in Love Again Last Night, the Forrester Sisters. If You Leave Me Now, Peter Cetera. I Hope You Dance, Leon Womack. I Just Can't Stop Loving You by Michael Jackson. I'll Never Find Another You, The Seekers. I'll Play for You, Seals and Crofts. I'll Stand By You, Pretenders. I'll Still Be Loving You, Restless Heart. I Love the Nightlife, Alicia Bridges. Imagine, you already knew that one, In the Navy, The Village People. Into the Mystic, Van Morrison, Islands in the Stream, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Stream. I have that twice, that doesn't count. I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2. I Swear by All for One. It's All Coming Back to Me Now, Celine Dion. It's Only Make Believe, Conway Twitty. That shows my age. It Was Almost Like a Song, Ronnie Milsap. I've Been to Paradise, Charlene D'Angelo. I've Got to Get a Message to You by the Bee Gees. I've Had the Time of My Life, Jennifer Warnes. I've Never Been to Me, Charlene. I Want to Know What Love Is, Foreigner. I Want You to Want Me, Cheap Trick. I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. I Would Give Anything I Own, American Heartland. I Would Walk 500 Miles, Mike J. Wallace. 36 songs. How many of them did you know? Almost all of them, right? Can you see how much knowledge you had that you couldn't access until we dipped our toe into it and you had a reminder? Okay? So, of all the knowledge you have, the number of songs you know that begin with the letter I is like this much of it, but you have so much of it. Not only that, if I said to you, what are the first 3 words let's see here. I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick. I don't know. Can you hum a few bars? I don't know. But if you first heard the 1 or 2 or first 3 notes, what would happen? The whole song comes to you, right? The whole song comes to you. And the melody comes to you, and an experience comes to you. And you're alive, and you know what happened? You fell into life. You fell into this huge pool of possibility just because you dipped your toe into it. Now apply this to the rest of your life. And I'm talking to me too here. I'm talking to me. And when you take it to the limit, when you leave that gate open, whatever you run into, whatever opportunity or challenge comes your way, you will recall the knowledge you need in order to face it, just like you recall the knowledge of all those songs. Jesus' disciples, they could have used all the excuses graffitied on the inside of their gate. But no, the Christ called out to them and they followed. So let me pose this question to you again. What is the Christ in you calling you to do? They didn't know how to lead people, but they would learn. They did not know what it meant to be a disciple of Jesus, but they'd learn. And the only way they would learn is by doing it. It's the only way. And we may not know what we need to learn. Chances are we don't. But we know how to find out, open that darn gate, and leave it open. And if it doesn't quite work out for us, well, all we will do is fall into life. And when we fall into life, guess what comes out of us? More of those ideas and thoughts and imagining and knowledge and potential that we didn't know we had. I mean, we kind of know we have it, but it's hard to access unless we dip our toe into the water. None of this will happen inside the gate. So in closing, I want you to live, and I'm talking to me, to live like someone left the gate open and take it to the limit. Whether it's about changing the world or making spoon bread, doesn't matter. Just do it. We're blessed with the 12 powers as Charles Fillmore described them. Now go out and use them. The worst that will happen is that you or I will fall into life, which means we'll draw from ourselves what we need to move forward in life. That's all. Leave the gate open to learn. Namaste. Thank you.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds stand on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Saying, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. 'Cause every little thing gonna be alright.
this is your first time here, please raise your hand and keep it raised if you wish, and our ushers will bring you a welcome brochure with a contact card that you can turn into the bookstore for a free gift. Any hands? Anybody here? Okay. Yes, we do. We have a couple people right there. Karen, thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And now are the announcements for today. The flowers this week were donated by Elena Trufa to celebrate, and I'm going to put this in first person, my late grandmother, Violet Assam's birthday. She was a Unity Minister Emeritus in Trinidad and My World of Love. Also, in honor of the first year anniversary of my mother, Sandrea Assam, and who had her transition last year. She's was a strong-willed teacher, leader, and diva who regally marched to her own drum. Granny and Mummy Nana, may you both continue walking in radiance and resting in power. So thank you, our lovely flowers today. Thank you, Elena. And to donate flowers, you can just choose a date, sign up in the list in the lobby, dedicate your bouquet to any blessings, person or event, birthdays, anniversaries, honor a loved one, as we just saw. It only costs $35. You get to take the flowers home after the service. And to pay, you can use the envelope from the back of the seat, write flowers on that, have your name, date of the donation on the envelope, and pay with either cash, check, or a credit card. So it says here, easy peasy. Okay, so it must be. And please remember to be silent in the sanctuary before the service and to clear the sanctuary quickly after the service, please, so that those who wish to take advantage of pre-service prayer or private prayer time with the chaplain may do so in a quiet and respectful environment. Our food drive continues. Updated lists of items needed are posted on the bulletin board with a box and there's a red bin placed by the windows and they are all in the fellowship hall. Okay, so please continue to donate as we support our neighbors in need. For those who may not have already heard, we are sad to report that our beloved Joanne Ballard made her transition on March 31st. Joanne was a founding member of this church, a licensed Unity teacher, and served as our interim minister prior to Reverend Craig Barrett's arrival. She was a dear friend to many of us, and a loved and respected and a beautiful soul. A celebration of life will be held at Unity Northwest Church on Saturday, May 21st at 10 a.m. Reverend Michael Corpin will officiate. Her two cousins, who were like sisters to her, hope to attend and bring Joe's ashes. Instead of flowers, Joe's family has asked that donations be made to Unity Northwest Church. Okay. And now we have a special announcement from the board. And Mark in particular.
Thank you very much, Dallas. Yeah, we got to sneak that one in the very last second. You're talking about opening a gate, like, oh, hope this is going to be okay. I think it's going to be great, actually. You're going to really like it. We realize what a challenge it's going to be to bring in a full-time minister here, and we thought it would be great if we could have somebody with a steadying presence that could help us, guide us through this time. And we've asked Tom Went to be our part-time minister here. So, we are excited about this, people. We are excited. So he'll be. He did?
I did.
That's a good point, Peggy. I give you that.
The gate opened wide.
So it's going to help us in several ways. There are some grants and loans that we could still take advantage of as a church, and it allows us to get those signed and delivered, and so that'll help us. Of course, he's still going to be talking like he normally does, okay? So at least around one Sunday a month for sure. And then we'll still have guest speakers, just like we normally do, so not a lot's going to change, but it gives us a sense of steadiness and presence until we find the full-time minister we need here. So that's the story.
Wow, talk about opening a gate. What a great news. Thank you. Okay, and there is a basket at the doorway for you to leave your tithes and offerings. You could donate by check, cash, or credit card. We have some forms in the seat backs. We're grateful for your prosperity consciousness and give thanks for your gift to bring the unity message forward. And now, we can thank you for sharing your light with us. We're going to stand and softly sing the peace song, and then we will do our prayer for protection.
Mark, what we have cleanup day on April 30th?
That's true. So this coming Saturday is help clean up the church, 8:30.
This coming Saturday, April 30th?
Yep.
Well, it doesn't have it in my announcements. Where is that? Okay, April 30th, what time?
10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. till, you can stay as long as you would like, a couple hours, a few hours would be very helpful, okay? So April 30th at 10 o'clock Saturday. Thank you very much. Yes,
Don't forget meditation on Tuesday, 6 o'clock to 6:45. Please come out, please.
okay. There we have another announcement. Meditation Tuesdays, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Okay, we're going to have to update our announcements. It's all right. Okay, thank you all.